My name is Lisa Berry, and I'm the animator for the K20 Center. I have a Bachelor's of Fine Arts in Computer Animation from Ringling College of Art and Design. Typical day starts with checking in with any of my clients. Those are people throughout the center that I am making artwork for. That's either checking for emails, checking on teams to see if they have any updates for me. I try to make sure that I share artwork as it's getting close to finish so that I can make sure it's heading in the direction that they want and is still working for purpose for the needs, whether it's for a lesson or a handout or just a video, not video, but a illustration on a slide. Then depending on if I'm making an animated video or a illustration or sometimes a little graphic design, I'll open up one of the programs and I'll begin my work for the day. Of course, there's sometimes meetings, but I try and stay pretty concentrated on more pressing tasks and then move on to projects that are starting to build up. I believe I've always wanted to be an artist. I have nonsense jobs that I wanted that were like everything I was interested when I was a little kid. That were all just piled together into a single job. But I've always known I liked animation. A lot of people say they liked Disney and that new. I was more into the little CG TV shows. Those really influenced me and kind of directed me. But I've known since elementary school, and I kind of directed my education career towards that goal from an early age. I really like it. It's gonna be cliche. I really like it when people like my art. I like it when the idea of like a kid gets a pamphlet that's got my drawing on it and it keeps them entertained. I'll never know, but I like the idea that someone out there really likes what I did, and even if it's something they just like, oh, that's cool, and then ignored for the rest of the time. I just like the idea that someone liked it. Challenging aspect is that it's not always making something that you want to do. I really like animals. That's not always what's going to come up in the job. So it's making sure that the client gets what they want and it's still artwork that you're very proud of. Even if it's not your first instinct or a subject that you personally love. Art and animation, especially, are kind of expensive. If you want to get a degree, it's kind of expensive. But the key, ultimately, is your portfolio. Portfolios are how you get work. Portfolios are actually how you get into college for a lot of these private schools. You need a portfolio. I know with me, I worked with early art teachers in middle school to start building that portfolio. You can do this on your own, always like kind of aim towards life, but also try and develop your own style, and that's kind of hard. But you kind of live and die by your portfolio. And so you want to make sure that you have a large range of artwork that you were proud of that you can also swap in and out depending on who you're trying to display this for. My process is a little like, starts with throw things at the wall until it sticks a little. I'll be like, okay, well, I need a girl character. I don't know anything about it, but I'm going to aim towards a high school character. And I'll make it a little too realistic. So it's going to be harder to animate because it's a little too detailed. And a little too realistic. So then I keep playing with it and I age the character down a little, make her a little bit rounder, make her softer, friendlier, and end up with like kind of like a peanut head. And it's appealing and it's It's great, and so you just kind of then make variations of that. Like, oh, if this is working, can I make it so it still works with if this was a boy or if this was now an adult? And you just kind of keep playing with it and um, pushing like features or exaggerating stuff. Like maybe you go too far and you've over exaggerated the eyes and now it looks like a baby, but you're aiming for aiming for like a 30-year-old because you just made the eyes so big compared to the rest of the head. But yeah, it's a lot of trial and error. Sometimes you'll end up with something you like right away, but you still want to try to make test other ideas. Sometimes you'll spend a whole day on something and it just doesn't come together to something that you like, and you're like, well, I guess I'll start over tomorrow.